Welcome and thank you all for joining us today for our 9-Dot webinar, Inside NCore Lite, the lightweight powerhouse for ISPs. Here to present from 9-Dot is their sales director, Nicola Davini. If anyone has any questions throughout the presentation, please feel free to add them into the chat and they will be addressed at the end of the session. Nicola, you are up.
Okay, thank you for joining the webinar. Good afternoon. I'm Nicola Davini, the sales director of 9-Dot, and I'm here to present you some features of our power station that can help you to have a reliable product that can give you service continuity to all of your customers. I'm going to show a quick presentation with some characteristic of the device, and after I will show you the web interface with the different function available on the device itself. I will not go deep in the characteristic of the devices, so feel free to ask any question if you need further details on some particular part. Okay. Okay, this is just an introduction to our company. We have born in 2016 and we have started developing low voltage system for the telecommunication industries, and we have focused, as the slide says, on reliability, modularity, thinking about the ease of use and remote management of our product to grant an access to the devices in remote location, difficult to reach. This is our product roadmap from the first devices developed in 2016 till the latest one and the future one that will be developed. It says 2026 more than 2025. This is just to show that we usually follow the market request to upgrade and update our product to follow the real market necessities. These are the challenges and solutions we have tried to solve working with our customers. We have different kinds of devices from PoE injectors, power supply, and so on. The focus that we have was to power up and control different brand of equipment with one single device. So we have some modular devices that can be used to have DC panel distribution as well as PoE injector in the same unit. So you are able to power up and control different kind of radios, router, or any kind of devices that need cameras, a low power, a low voltage, sorry, not low power, a low voltage input. As I said, all our devices, you have a remote access because the ISP or our customer have installation in a remote location that maybe need 2 hours to be reached. So having a remote access can allow the technician to operate remotely on the devices, to reboot some radios and check if the power is okay and so on, avoiding to send the technician on site. We maybe just reboot the device. We have different kind of output power. We have our product use components to give a stable power supply, have different kind of electric protection to protect the devices from lightning, from over voltage, short circuit, overcurrent, and so on. And the power management, the power system also can manage batteries to give service continuity in case of the main power sources go down. Okay, these are the three family we have: the sink injector, the smart power compact system. The sink injector, a PoE injector that can provide also cambio synchronization to the cambio devices, as well as PoE standard injector or DC panel distribution, so you can really control any kind of device. And with just single unit, you can also optimize your warehouses, because you can use it simply changing some cartridge or some giga key, what we call giga key, to change the pin out of the PoE port. So with one devices, you can really power up a lot of different kind of equipment. The smart power compact system that are cost-effective solution for smaller installation, or where you don't need many output ports, that can provide a remote control of the devices with cost-effective solution. The last one I'm saying is the active power station, because this is the one I'm going to talk you today. The active power station we have is the NCore Lite. The NCore Lite, here you can see the shape of the devices. I'm going to show you the front view and the rear view of the device. As you can see in the front view, then I will have some slides that goes in detail in any section. In the front panel, you have two AC/DC, two input source, different input source. It can be AC/DC or 800 watt each, or also a DC/DC with a solar panel connector. You have the battery connector with this circuit breaker, and you have 8 output port. The LED for the status of the device and the alarm, and the LED of each single port that shows the status of each single port. On the rear view, you have the grounding connection to connect the ground to the device to the health, and the Ethernet port for remote connectivity. The device has also a local Wi-Fi network that can be remotely activated and deactivated. So the technician on site can connect to the device using the local Wi-Fi, instead of disconnecting the Ethernet port and changing the IP configuration. So the remote technician and the local technician can see the same interface without disconnecting each other to manage the device. Going in the different section of the side of the device, we have the input sources. As I said, there is 2 swappable slots that can host 2 AC/DC rectifier of 800 watt each, or 1 rectifier and 1 DC/DC input. The DC/DC input can be used to power up the system with a solar panel. So give different input source to increase the resiliency of the devices. There is the battery connector with the battery management module. You can choose to charge your battery using 1, 5, or 10 ampere at 48 volt. Obviously, the maximum charge depending also on the load you have on the system, because if it is not enough, it will use the remaining current to charge the batteries. You have an external thermic sensor where you can put the sensor on the battery, so the module also control the temperature in case the temperature of the batteries are high. Stop charging it to avoid to damage it. There is also a programmable battery charge and discharge, but I'll show you later in the web interface how it works. These are the 8 output ports. The 8 output ports are divided in 3 different modules that can have different output voltage. 4 ports in the main module are fixed at 54 volt output. The other 2 modules can be chosen depending on the requirements. It can be adjustable. That means that you can change between 29, 48 or 54 volts depending on the requirement you have, or you can have fixed at 12 or 24 volts. So you can have a wide range of output voltage available. There is also an auxiliary port available. Here you can put some devices, some serial external sensor that can be managed by the software. Depending on the input to receive on the auxiliary port, it can do action on the NCore Lite. This is an add-on that we have made for the NCore Lite. It has 8 input DC port and 8 output PoE injector. So with the NCore Lite and the 8 injector, you can have 8 PoE output port. That here you can see the front and the rear panel that can configure with the Giga key and have a different pinout for each kind of port. So you can have 8 remotely managed PoE port, adding this module to the 8 injector. Here there is a sample of the Giga key that we use to configure the pinout of the PoE port, depending on the kind of PoE output. Yeah, there is a different key, so you can use with different kind of devices. On the download section of our website, there is a complete guide where you can find all the product we can power up with our PoE injector and our Giga key, so you can have a complete list and easily choose for your devices which key you need. These are some sample of configuration we have made for our customer. In this case, we have an NCore Lite that is using the 8 injector as well as DC output. With the DC output, we have power up the router and the DVR. With the PoE, we have power up the camera. There is a battery backup system. We have put the solar panel. In reality, the customer didn't have the solar panel, but you can use the solar panel with the DC input module and the AC/DC rectifier to give a resiliency to a monitoring system that needs to be kept online, because it just record any action of what happening where it is installed. So the customer needs that the service is running 24/7. So if someone try to cut the electricity, at least he needs to have the time to record what is happening and send alert promptly to the police or the people responsible to protect the site. Another kind of configuration is to use the PoE injector to power up radio, different kind of radios that doesn't require synchronization, or using with our GigaSync device that can also provide Cambium synchronization. You can power up different kind of voltages to the different modules. So you can have product with negative 48 volts or PoE injector, or as well as Cambium devices that require synchronization with just one single unit. Okay, this is a short presentation of the product. I'm going to show you the interface of the NCore Lite. This is the dashboard, the main dashboard. You have, as you can see, as I said before, we have thought about easy of use of the interface. You don't need additional software to access the device information. You can log in using going to the IP address you have assigned to the NCore Lite. And you have the shape of the device. So you have the two input modules. In this case, we have in this unit there is just one. The other one is empty. You have the battery management module, and you have the three different output module with the output port and the command of the devices. As you can see in this case there is no loads on the output port, so you don't see any current basically. As you can see, you see the output current, the voltage, and the input current for the battery, the output current for the battery, all the information in this schema. In case there is something red, it means that there is something that is not working as it should. In this case, the charger is red because basically I have not enabled it. You can set the charger, the current of the charger. I can put 5 ampere. If I enable the charging, then the charger will become black because it's now charging the battery. And you have the voltage used. The battery charging is an intelligent module. You can choose the battery type. It can manage lithium, LiFePO4 batteries, and lead acid as well. Depending on the choose you made, it has different kind of behavior of the charging. Usually it keeps charging at constant voltage, then at constant current, and then depending if you have lead acid battery that needs to keep charged with continuous input, or if you have lithium that has not to be charged when they are fully charged, it has different kind of behavior. As I said before, the battery management system has also the possibility to scheduling battery discharging and charging. These two give the exact estimated capacity of the battery. So if you program periodic cycle of the battery charging and discharging and charging, you will have the estimated capacity as well as the autonomy that you have with the estimated capacity and the load you have on the system. In this case, this battery was discharged, so it doesn't have too much autonomy left. Okay, here you can set the nominal capacity or remove the battery. In case you have to remove the battery, you have, before disconnecting the cable, you have to remove the batteries to stop, to avoid any problem. Here you can also set the thermistor. It says that we have an external or internal thermistor. If you connect the external thermistor, you can choose the external thermistor to check the battery temperature. If you don't have or you want to use the external thermistor, you can use the internal thermistor of the devices. Obviously, it is less precise than the thermistor on the battery, but it can help you to stop the battery charging in case the temperature goes too high. Okay, you can also reset the charger calibration in case you see something strange, or manually do a battery discharging cycle. I can start the battery discharging cycle to show you what happens in case of AC/DC power outage. In this case, it's like I disconnected the AC/DC module. You see, it shows that there is no connectivity from the AC/DC input. The charger is red because obviously it's no longer charging the battery, but it's just discharging. And you can see the current that flow from the batteries to the devices. Okay, now I'm going to cancel it before everything shut down because there is not enough battery charge on the. Okay, I've stopped, and as you stopping the discharging cycle, you start recharging the batteries and provide power to the load. The output module. The output module, okay, you have all the port information, so you can turn on the port, turn off the port, power cycle the port, blink the port in case you have a technician on site and you want to show him which is the port where you have a fault and he has to control, but you don't know if it is port 1, 3, 4 or or which name have you given it, you can blink the port so it can show the light in front of the device that show which port is it. And okay, in this case, you can set the enable port always on. This is for load shading that I will tell you later. If you choose the device is always on, it will show the black star here. Okay, let's shut down the port. You can say the device, you can put the name of the devices you have connected to the port to easily understand which devices you are controlling. There is also a priority on the port, as you can see, and also this priority, it's used for the load shedding system. Okay, we said that this module has 54-volt output fixed. The other can be configured with other settings. In this case, we have 2 adjustable modules, so you can choose from the menu the output voltage you want to use for the 2 ports connected to the module. So if you put 29 volt, the port goes in fault because it's power cycle on the port, so it says it goes down for some reason, but just turn on at the new voltage. So you can easily swap between one voltage to another. Also, in this case, there are all the options per port. Okay, going to the command windows, you have it's command part of the devices. You have different information. Okay, you have the information about the date, the kind of the version of the controller, the software version, the uptime of the controller and its module, the network configuration. If you want to access with HTTPS secure protocol instead of HTTP, you can enable it. You can generate a self-signed certificate, or you can put your own certificate, trusted, so you can configure the HTTPS interface to avoid non-secure here. In this case, I'm in HTTP only. Okay, this is for the load shedding. I will tell you later. If you need some information on the previous screen, just ask me, and I will tell you again. I was talking about the battery test schedule to schedule the battery cycle to have the real battery availability, and you can program it or remove it in case you don't need anymore. You can also create different kind of user, so with different role. So you have read-only, tech, or administration. So different role for the user. So if someone has just to see, cannot make action, and so on, you can just give them a different user. About the load shedding, in case of AC/DC or input power lost, the battery system go to backup the devices. You can choose 2 different kind of reaction, reactive and proactive mode. The proactive mode just turn off once every now the battery discharge, it switch off the latest priority port. So the devices with low priority switch off. With the reactive mode, all the devices except the one marked with always on are switched off immediately. So it keeps the market ports on. Obviously, when the current, the power of the battery is not enough, also in this case it will start to shutting down the port following the order of the devices. Once the AC/DC input current turn on, again all the ports will automatically turn on again. If you want to change the priority of the devices, you have just to move this with this. Okay, you need a second because it has to reload, and you can see you have switched the priority of the port. In this case, we have used the same name, but in the square there is the module 3 port 1 and module 2 port 1. So you always have which kind of port you are prioritizing. You have also logs where you can access and check all what happens in the devices. So you can check the log. In this case, I've changed the product priority. I've made the full discharge request. It shows anything you have done on the interface. So if you want to do some troubleshooting and so on, you can also check the log to understand what it has happened. All the information you have on this interface can be retrieved also using SNMP traps. So you can integrate on your monitoring system the device. You can download the traps from the menu and chart to your system to have all the information, and you can also access to the devices using API. You can access to the API documentation in the device. There is the API documentation where you can try to run command. For example, the get info. You have some sample that show you the command that has run and the results. So you have all the information in this case of the XML format, so you can interpret it with your monitoring system and update the value and log also it on the monitoring system. Another interesting features that is available on the NCore Lite is the event management, where you can choose which kind of action you want to do depending on some settings. It is quite a powerful instrument, other than the automatic action, like when the battery is powering the system, so you have the port that automatically shut down depending on the battery charge, or if there is short circuit, the port go down automatically and so on. You can also program some customized event. You have all the list of value you can have from the NCore Lite, a very long list. For example, you can, just to make an example, maybe it doesn't even make sense for you, but just to give you an example, for example, you can choose, okay, the modules start from 1 and this from 0. It is a thing that we will fix in the next software update. You can choose the first port. In this case, when the first port is active, for example, just to make an example of program, you can power on also the second port on the same module. So you can program the device. So once I activate the port 1 on the first module, in a while the port 1 goes on, and the event management also put on the second port. You can also say when one port goes off, the other has to go on, because maybe you can have 2 ports as a backup or what else. It is a strong, it's quite a powerful features that can help you to do. You can also check the output current or the output voltage, so you can say if the port 1 the current of the port 1 is higher than 2 ampere just to shut down the port or something like that. There is a lot of customization. You see the output current of the SC module, so you can also say if the output current of the SC module is over a certain amount, switch off ports and so on. So you can do a lot of customized configuration that can help you to manage automatically the device and the device is connected. Okay, this is my presentation of our NCore Lite. I don't know if you have any questions or some curiosity or something. I can answer it, or otherwise, if you have, I don't know if you have some sites that you want to configure, you want to try our devices and so on, you can contact Winncom, that is our distributors for this product, or contact us to have a consultancy to see if you send us which devices you have, which battery you have, we can help you to understand if you can use our power system to power up and make your station more resilient and provide a really good service to your customer. Because if your customer if you are a WISP and you have a customer that accesses the internet, is nothing worse, like happens before to my voice connection, to lose the internet connection when you need it, and you remember very well the outage you have, and you forgot easily how long your service has been reliable. So having a power source, a reliable power source, we think is mandatory for anyone who want to give service continuity to their service. Okay, I'm going to open my camera so you can see me.
Yeah, Nicola, we do have one question for you. On the NCore Lite, can group 3 output be ordered for a 12 volt and 24 volt?
3 output for 3 for 12 and 3 for 24. You can have maximum of 2. You can have 2 of 12 and 2 of 24, or 4 of 12, but cannot have 3. At least not with the single management. Obviously, the output port of each, it can manage any port of the adjustable module can manage up to 8 ampere per port. So you can connect more than one devices if you don't reach the 8 ampere on the same port. You will not have, for example, you can connect 2 devices on the port 1 and 1 devices on the port 2. You don't have the single reboot for the devices connected to the port 1, but you can connect 3. If they don't exceed the 8 ampere total, you can connect it. And also on the other module, if you have 24 volts as well, so you can put more than 2, but you will lose the single management of the port. I don't know if it was the question and the answer.
Yes, I think that was good. Thank you. And we have another one that just came in. Does the device connect via a network nearby, or is it based on cell data?
Is connect in the network nearby, or sorry, say it again?
Does the device connect via a network nearby, or is it all based on cellular data?
The device connect using the Ethernet port of the device. So it connects using your router, your network. You can have a local network where you manage the devices, or you can NAT it to an external network, so you can access from outside your network to the device. And it has also a Wi-Fi local network, but it's for local access for a technician that is on site, maybe need to access the interface and you don't want to change your network settings to allow him to access. So you can go here in the network, you can enable the Wi-Fi or disable it. In this case, it's already enabled. You can disable it and there is no Wi-Fi available. If you enable it, there is local Wi-Fi where the customer can connect. There is also a NAT function that if the device is connected to the internet, it can also go give internet connectivity to the devices connected to the local Wi-Fi.
Wonderful, thank you. That is all the questions we have on our end.
Okay.
Okay. Well, I would like to say thank you to Nicola and thank you to everyone who attended. As a quick reminder, we will have an email out to you within the next 24 hours that should carry all this information for you.
Okay. Thank you very much, Dawn. Thank you, Winncom, for helping us hosting this webinar. As I said, go through Winncom that have a really good expertise on our products, so they can suggest you the best choice you can have, or also contact us if you need any kind of information. We will be happy to try to help you finding the correct solution for your requirements with our product. Have a nice day.